So that was a great result today, but before we talk about the game, two touching moments, not only the Remembrance Day tribute, but Alex Fletcher too.
Yeah, two incredibly, as you said, sort of touching moments really. You know, lest we never forget, I think that's so important for this country. You know, without those brave men, we wouldn't be sat here today with our freedoms. And, you know, the one on 7 minutes for Alex Fletcher, it's taken all of us, you know, we're all in shock about it. We're all praying for his recovery. You know, we've all sent Bath and Jerry our best, because I can imagine it's affected Jerry and the players as well, as it would all of us. But what's unbelievable is to see how the football family come together on stuff like this. All rivalries, any rivalries, always put aside. And as I said, we just pray that Alex comes through and is okay.
It just shows after the 90, no matter who you're playing, all those teams are always together.
Yeah, but you know, what was it? Something like 1,500 replies, you know, to his parents' tweets saying how the fact that he was in hospital and he'd had surgery. You know, from Liverpool to Southampton to, you know, to a small sort of Highworth town. So, as I said, football, when it matters, becomes, you know, this unbelievable community. And I think we just wanted to show our utmost respect to Bath as a football club, to Alex, and obviously for his parents.
Well, today a fantastic result, 5 good goals. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was one of the stranger games that I've watched, if I'm being honest. I thought we started like an absolute train. They played a diamond, which gave us so much space in the wide areas. We were quite surprised that they did it. You know, I thought Benny Reid coming in for Josh Passley today, only got an hour's notice, was outstanding. You know, we'd worked on that ball. We actually thought Felix was going to play at right back, so we'd worked this week about the stand-up ball at the far post. And it was actually James Roberts who got it on the other side. So lots of good play from us for 15 or 20. I thought then they got back into the game. We went 2-0 up, switched off, as we do sometimes. They came back into the game, I thought, very well, and it didn't surprise me when they scored. I'd said to Birdie a few minutes before, we've got to be careful here, and then Bosch, it was a goal. But probably the game change was us getting a penalty a minute or two afterwards. I'd have to see it. I don't know. You know, we were very upset not to get the Ebbsfleet one. I'm not so sure about today's, whether it was deserved or not. That's what happens. Football, it swings and roundabouts. We got it. Robbo scores it. And I think back to 3-1, the cushion was there. Second half, again, they were very good in possession without really hurting us. You know, we know Danny Mills is a huge threat. We tried to stop the crosses coming in this afternoon. And, you know, probably, you know, 2 lovely goals for Danny Wright. You know, but it probably was a flattering scoreline, to be honest, in that last 5 minutes, because if you look at their team and the players that aren't even in their team, they've got an unbelievable you know, list of players for this level. You know, Dom Comley obviously not available today, and Krasniqi not available today. It's plus being able to name 18 on the bench. You know, there's some big investment gone in down there at Dulwich for that type of player. So we knew today they must be in a false position in the league. And you know, we just felt that we could get at them today because of that. Maybe they're lacking a bit of confidence, but the last 5 games they've been in the top 5, the top form, you know, the form league. So you know, we've come up with a really good winner today.
And you mentioned coming out strong in the first half. How important is it getting those 2 early goals?
Huge in any game. It's tough to score goals at Conference South level. We sort of worked and demanded a quick start today. We felt that might, you know, we didn't know where they were sat in terms of how they felt about themselves. We got, I think, 6 crosses in the box in the first 3 minutes, of which, you know, there was corner after corner after corner. There was throw in. So, you know, when we got the goal in, I think the 7th minute or 6th minute, it was justly deserved at that point. And then to get another one straight afterwards sort of put us in some control. But as I said, credit to Dulwich, because they came back and they had a good 15-20 minute spell themselves.
Well, some fantastic performances today. You mentioned Benny Reid. Who are your standouts?
Well, probably the standout for me would have been Billy Clifford again. I think when Billy's like the conductor of the orchestra for us. I thought Oscar Goburn, in particular, those two in midfield. When I've said it now, Robertson foul play well, Mo foul play well, and as a team we play well. We're still trying to get Jason up through match fitness, so he's got another 60 under his belt today. He felt tight at half time. And then you've got the quality of Danny Wright, who's also finding his way back to fitness. You know, so it's a 60-30 job for those two, really. And you know, I think we overall, Joe Ostler, McCarthy, outstanding. Very pleased with Brad's debut. Came and caught what he needed to. Probably a bit unlucky with the goal. He made an initial good first save, just spun out. But I think you're struggling to say someone didn't have a good game. I thought it was mainly sort of 7s with a couple of 8s knocked in there.
And not only that, a credit to the subs today as well. JC getting some minutes and firming up the back line. Then you mentioned Righty.
Yeah, well, I actually think the one who I really liked was Leon. I thought Leon came in. He won his first 3 tackles against a very good winger. I thought he got forward. He put some crosses in the box, and we've got a good young player there. You know, that's another thing, as I was sort of alluding to last week. We haven't got a massive squad, you know, and we are prepared to give the likes of, you know, Leon a real chance. And you know, JC is important to us. You know, he's obviously important as our head coach. He's important to us, to me and Birdie, within our management team. But trust me, he can still do a massive job on the pitch. And it's really unfortunate we've not seen enough of him. But we're just hoping now that he gets a clean run, because it does allow us then to get Jake McCarthy occasionally back into midfield. I think McCarthy's been brilliant in that position, mind you. And we get Sam Magri back, you know, on Tuesday as well. So all of a sudden, whilst Magri and Jamie might be able to do 30s and 40s, we're just trying to combine players at the minute to try and get a 90 minutes out of certain positions.
And just quickly on Leon, it's fantastic to see that pathway's there and it's available for all those players in the academy too.
Yeah, and what's fantastic is that Joe Ostler and Jamie Collins, you know, certainly Joe Ostler's the head coach with Jamie now assisting him. So that's 2 first team players, and the lads, you know, lads can genuinely look at those 2 and say, well, that's, you know, that's the example that's being set. They've got to be able to look at Leon as someone who's gone and played 5 games for Bognor. And now played again for us today. So there is a pathway if you work hard, and eventually you've got to be good enough.
So it feels like over the last 6-7 weeks we've had so many home games, but probably 1 away game thrown in there. What's the mentality going into now? I think it's 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, we like it. We do like being away. I think our stats will show that we're, you know, certainly one of the top teams away from home. I think you've got to dig in more away from home. I think there's more of a structure about your team when you're away from home, and I think we're good at that. You know, it's not smash and grab stuff, but I think, you know, it's up to the home team to get on the front foot, and it's up to them to commit players forward. You know, with the front 3 that we've got, we can hurt teams on the counter. But you know, they've just beaten Lincoln in the FA Cup. Brilliant result. I didn't mention them last week, and I should have done, so I apologise for that. It's an amazing result for Chippenham to get in the 2nd round of the FA Cup. Delighted for their new manager as well. You know, they've got a young team there. He's got them extremely well set up. And they got our nemesis Jordan as well, Jordan Whitenay, the number 9, so young, I think. So got some good players there, like Callum Mayhew as well. You know, they'll be a tough on a Tuesday night going there, but we'll prepare properly, as we always do. I think we then go to Welling, is that right?
Yeah,
in the trophy. But the biggest game in the next is always the next game, and that's going to be Chippenham on Tuesday night.
Lovely. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Adam.